Hey, oh, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Monday night, July the 30th, 2018. Monday Night Raw came to us from Miami, Florida, and instead of giving us a great wrestling show, which is what we never get from Monday Night Raw, we got to hear Bobby Lashley sing a classic rock and roll song, and we're going to take a minute right now before we hit the intro. Let's do this, because we're going to take a minute. Blue, come, give me a hand here, Blue. We're going to show you guys how it's done. Ready, Bobby Lashley? This one's for you. I had to watch this garbage all night long, huffing and a puffing cause you're doing it wrong, and the hammer's coming down right now, you know it's time for the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it. Tweet, tweetly fucking tweet.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
He sucks on the mic, he sucks in the ring. Now the whole world knows he can sing. Why he came back, no one knows. I can't he wait till he goes the fuck home. Bobby Lashley, tweet, 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 boring trashly. Tweet, tweet, fucking tweet. Go home, boring trashy, cause you ruined the Raw tonight. Tweetily fucking tweet. Here you go. There's about 30 seconds or more that I came up with that was more creative than the whole entire fucking show we had to sit through tonight. What an embarrassment. How dare these people call themselves creative minds? How dare they call themselves a wrestling company? I just gave to you a more entertaining version of Rockin' Robin. I had more charisma and more talent involved in that, and it took me all of 35 to 40 seconds to write it for you before I hit the record button on this show. This show is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Thank you guys for joining us once again. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me is the premier tag team in all of professional wrestling coverage. Not like the fucking tag teams we had to sit through in the tag team division on Monday Night Raw tonight. This is Thor, the wrestling god of thunder, the hammer of reason and reality, looking good, looking shiny, getting a little pimp job going on. He's ready to go and bring the hammer down tonight, and in his corner with him, his tag team partner. This show would never sound so good without him, Mr. Blue. Thank you for being here once again on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. We're in a singing mood. I don't know why. Maybe because I've been singing all day since I got home from work. I was firing up the Spotify, which we are on Spotify ourselves. If you don't fancy listening to music, you want to fancy yourself some premier wrestling coverage, you could find us on Spotify, just like you could find us on iTunes, Podbean, and Stitcher Radio as well. Don't forget to check us out over there. Listening to music all day long. Singing my little heart out, getting the vocal cords ready, doing some warm-ups by singing some of my favorite tunes. So, it was annoying to me to have Monday Night Raw tonight be so musical. You know, and when the one guy on the whole roster that I think can actually play music, which is Elias, is the one that's not even really providing to us the music of the evening. It was just absolute garbage again tonight. What are they doing over there? How much harder can you take the plunger and stick it in my mouth and just keep ramming it down my throat? There is no one specific thing anymore. It's everything. From the WWE Evolution pay-per-view to the continued failure that is Roman Reigns to the continued life of Jinder Mahal on this show, to the continuation of an absolutely dreadful women's division coupled with the twice as dreadful tag team division. I just don't understand what the hell these people are doing all week long that they can't come up with 3 hours of television that actually makes sense. What was new about tonight's show? I'll tell you what was new. Brock Lesnar was new. That wasn't Brock Lesnar. Who was that fucking big thin guy who was wearing the Brock Lesnar face? The guy that was being mean to Paul Heyman all night. A guy who's sitting around reading jerk-off magazines about hunting and farming and planting vegetables and milking cows and shooting deers between the eyes. This is what this guy wants to do. He wants to go home and read his fucking stupid magazines on his couch. This is what you got Brock Lesnar doing on Monday Night Raw. You finally have him show up after all this time, and you are so convinced that you are going to get Roman over on his expense and his venture into the UFC that you are really continuing on with this dreadful push and this absolutely nauseating plunging of Roman Reigns down my throat. You could not be more nauseating and more over the top with this whole entire thing all night long. Brock Lesnar was a fucking jerk all night long. Is Brock Lesnar a jerk in reality? I'm sure he is. But do you know what he's not? He's not afraid of competition. Brock Lesnar does not hate wrestling. He is an NCAA champion. You are not going to show me a guy that 6 months ago when he came out, whenever it is he does come out, he comes out, he's ready to wrestle, he hits the ring, he does his thing. Maybe it's a minute, maybe it's two, but this is what this man loves to do. Now all of a sudden he don't give a shit. All of a sudden he don't want to do it. All of a sudden you are all night long ramming the point home that Brock Lesnar doesn't give a shit about the WWE Universe. He doesn't give a shit about the Universal Championship. He doesn't even give a shit about Monday Night Raw. He doesn't want to be there. He has to be there. He's contractually obligated to fulfill this date, and all he wants to do is go home. He doesn't come out to the ring. He doesn't want to come out to the ring throughout most of the show. And then you want to end the show with this should the end of the show, the way it went off the air, it should have happened at the middle point of the show. Brock Lesnar should have been the one to just leave. Have Roman Reigns kicked out and then have Brock be like, ah, yeah, I don't give a shit about this show, and leave. But you're not going to sell me on this. Then you're going to have Roman standing there talking trash about Brock Lesnar all night long, doing the whole, I'm going to kick his ass back to the UFC bullshit. I'm going to not send him back as the Beast. I'm going to send him back as Roman Reigns, bitch. Stop it. Oh, Roman said the B word. This must be intense. This must be extreme. This must be garbage. Overly scripted, nonsensical. Every word that comes out of everybody's mouth tonight does nothing but go against the will of almost 99.9% of the fan base. Don't give me that shit that you heard all the little girls and all the tiny little boys in the crowd screaming, we want Roman, after he supposedly threatened to break Paul Heyman's arm. That does not count. Those are not fans. Those are children without real reasoning or thought. And I actually shouldn't even say that, because when I was a young child, I looked at things that were going on, and I didn't understand why guys like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat weren't the World Heavyweight Champion at one point. I'm 9, 10 years old. I'm like, why isn't this guy? Look at the matches he's having with Randy Savage. Why isn't this guy the #1 guy? What has he got what has Hogan got that he don't have? And that's what we're going through in this day and age. You don't realize it. You know, you look back and the winners tell the story, you know, so you look back at all your memories fondly, but then when you start to really analyze it, you have a show like mine perhaps, and you sit back and you're just daydreaming about some of these things that you've witnessed in your life, and it makes you look at a Monday Night Raw like tonight and you go, how did we get this far? How did we get this far from the mark? I understand things like top talent not always being the world champion. It's something we've become accustomed to. Ricky Steamboat, you know, the list can go on and on. Guys that never made it to the top that definitely should have been a world champion once. Vader. You know, many, many guys can be on this list. But the fact that you could look at tonight's show and see so clearly that it doesn't matter if you're a Seth Rollins or a Dolph Ziggler or a Drew McIntyre. The boss has his agenda, and the agenda is going to stand firm. And if you think for 1 minute Kevin Owens is going to beat Braun Strowman for that for the Money in the Bank contract at SummerSlam, you're crazy, because Braun Strowman is the ace in the hole. New York City is going to rain terror down on the main event of SummerSlam, especially if this is the direction in which we are going. They are going full steam ahead with Brock being painted as the villain and Roman. Everybody feel bad for Roman. They're against him. Stephanie McMahon is against him. Her old man has given him 4 WrestleMania main events, and Stephanie McMahon is against him, and we have to be feeling sorry for him. Roman's here. He wants to fight. He's got the heart of a lion. He's a big dog. Somebody wants to pet him somewhere. But we gotta take him out of the arena because he's too vicious. We have the cops escort him out like we've never seen this before. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. The same old shit. Over and over. I am so tired of seeing this push for the big dog. You know what kind of dog he is? You know when you got your family, right? Maybe you're a dad like me, or maybe you just know from your past, like it's time to get the family dog, right? So you go down to your ASPCA or to your North Shore Animal Leagues or to wherever it is, you adopt a puppy, or maybe you go to a breeder and you buy it straight out. But for the purposes of this story, you're at a friggin' local adoption place. You go in there and you see this beautiful, gigantic Rottweiler, right? It's got a shiny black coat. Its hair is pristine. He's got a beautiful chest. He looks strong. He looks like he can get the job done for you. Right? But you know you can't bring him home. You know you can't bring him home because you live in an apartment. It's about the size of a box. You don't have yard access. Sure, your wife is going to love him. Right? Your kids, they're definitely going to love their big dog. Right? But your neighbors are going to fucking hate you. And they're going to hate your big dog. You know why? Because his bark is loud. Most likely it's annoying. He's constantly talking when he should just shut his mouth. And then you take him out every Monday night and he takes a shit right in the elevator of the apartment building before you get him out, stinking up the whole joint, ruining everybody's Monday night. That's the kind of dog Roman Reigns is, and that's why nobody wants to adopt him and bring him home to mama. Maybe you're a little dog guy now. You know, you've had your big dogs before. We've seen them all. We've seen the Hogans and the Warriors and the Andres, the Sids, the Diesels. They don't play anymore. There's a place for your big men in wrestling, but it's not all about big men. Maybe we want little dogs now. Little dogs that can jump around and do interesting things and that are smarter and that are going to live longer. This is what they make me think of. Wrestling was so fucking boring that I'm sitting there trying to think what kind of a dog this idiot is so that I can come out here and tell you guys not to fucking adopt him. This is why I come here. I want to talk about wrestling. And you're going to go, oh, maybe you're one of these idiots, one of these goons that want to come at me, one of these mooks. You're going to come out and be like, oh, well, Nick, you know, we had some great wrestling tonight, man. We had a lot of great wrestling, bro. Where? What did you see tonight that you have not seen on Monday Night Raw at least once, if not twice, in the last few weeks? I'll wait for you to respond. I'll sit here and wait for a week for a comment. Go ahead, I'm waiting. What have you seen tonight that we didn't see? The Riot Squad versus Sasha and Bayley? Have you seen that before? Of course you fucking did. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, we saw that bit 2 weeks ago. They didn't even have the decency to change the ending. I'm waiting. Finn Balor versus the Constable dickhead. We've seen this, what, every week this month? The Authors of Pain? That's the one thing we've seen. We've seen the most dominant tag team that has ever come up from NXT wrestling in a singles match where half the crowd was asleep. That's the new segment for Raw. Get excited, motherfucker. Holy shit. Look what this show has done to me. Maybe it's the new Silver on Thor. Maybe it's really bringing it out of me because he is a real hammer. And he's bringing the thunder tonight. We're dropping the hammer down on Monday Night Raw. One of the single worst shows I have ever had to sit through. Ever. Ronda Rousey is on the show tonight. Do you know why? Because Alicia Fox needs an opponent for next week. Okay, now, before we start going all over the place, you guys, I need to pull my notes out. Because I'm going to just start. Because here's where some of you are going to either love me or hate me. Alright? And let's be clear before we get this started. I like to clarify before we do some of our critiquing. This is a review show. It's what we do. We offer our critique. So put your balls in your hand and relax yourself for a second. Don't get them all in a twist. Alright? Because I love women's wrestling. I love it. You don't believe me? Go check out all the things that I've been doing for the Mae Young Classic for this year so far. That requires a lot of work to put those videos up there. It's not your average video. If I didn't give a shit about women athletes, I wouldn't be doing shit like that. But when you want to bring me Alicia Fox to fight Natalya, what was this for? The honor of Ronda Rousey? Alexa Bliss is so desperate to not be in competition that she goes and gets the worst women's wrestler on the roster? And don't give me, oh, well, she looked good for somebody that didn't wrestle in 10 years. She's been in the company for 10 plus years, and she hasn't learned a fucking thing. This girl can't even do a decent cat meow. We've seen proof positive of that tonight. She can't even hiss right. Alicia Fox is awful. Her acting is terrible. Her wrestling is still terrible. What is the reason why you would put her in the ring with a Ronda Rousey? Why is she the catalyst? Did Mickie James miss her flight? Did Mickie James finally wake up and tell Raw Creative, it doesn't make sense for Alexa Bliss to have anybody. I don't want to be Alexa's partner anymore. I look like a fucking idiot. And then they said, you know what, Mickie, you're right. Go do something else. We'll give Alicia your spot. You know why? Oh, here's the Raw Creative. Well, we gotta fill in. We gotta fill in for Alicia Fox. No, we'll take Alicia Fox and we'll put her versus Natalya. You know why? I got a great idea. Sell it to Vince. It's a cat versus a fox. It's a cat versus a fox. Make sure she wears her ears. Bravo. Bring it to the old man. It's gonna be gold. Are you out of your fucking mind with this match? And then the whole point of this match was nothing more than to promote next week's match, where Ronda Rousey's first match televised on Monday Night Raw is going to be against a walking broomstick that can't move. Molasses moves better than she does. What a disrespect to Ronda Rousey this is. You brought her in, you made everybody wait all this time, you're going to build up anticipation for her first match. You got SummerSlam coming. You would have been better off having her just wait and have her debut match be for the World Heavyweight Championship one-on-one versus Alexa Bliss. That would have been better than to have her on Monday Night Raw next week. And if she does not absolutely eviscerate Alicia Fox in under 30 seconds, it's already failed. It's already failed in my eyes tonight. Did you see Alicia Fox on the outside throwing around Ronda Rousey? Alicia Fox throwing around a UFC Women's Champion like she knows something. Alexa Bliss didn't even get her that good. Kurt Angle was flipped by this woman. Triple H was flipped by Ronda Rousey, but you got Alicia Fox throwing her around on the outside to effectiveness to keep her down so that her and Alexa Bliss can escape. This makes sense to you. This is all okay to you. If it is, goodbye. Hammer down on you. If that's alright with you, you're a big Alicia Fox fan. Are you a big Alicia Fox fan? Are you? Get the fuck out of here. I don't need you. I don't need your kind here. If your brain looks at Alicia Fox and says, yeah, that's my girl, I'm going to go with that, she's awesome, you're not welcome here. And it has nothing to do with anything about her except for the fact that for 10 years, maybe more, she has been on the roster and she brings nothing with her. All you are doing with this is running the risk of Ronda Rousey getting injured by an idiot. Am I wrong? As good as Finn Balor and Baron Corbin was, like we touched on a little bit before, we've seen this 4 times already. And in the end, they're not fighting over anything. 5th grade insults, playground humor, short jokes. They had a whole book of shit that they wrote for Big Cass that they just passed over to Baron Corbin so that he could deliver it to Finn Balor instead of Daniel Bryan. A book of fucking clever one-liners and a tiny little doghouse that Vince McMahon bought for the angle that they weren't going to get to use on Daniel Bryan, so they gave it to Baron Corbin. There's nothing at stake except personal pride. Finn Balor has already beaten Baron Corbin, and now Baron Corbin has beaten Finn Balor. Do you really care? The demonless Finn Balor, shiny, happy, soulless employee of the WWE, Finn Balor, versus the wrestling daddy Warbucks with his little fucking waistcoat, wears his little pocket watch, right? So that he can take it out and whip somebody in the head with it. Why don't you use that? Go all in with it, right? Where's his cane? Give him a fucking top hat and a monocle. Call him Mr. Monopoly. He looks like a fucking idiot. Why can't he come out wrestling in wrestling trunks? Where's your gear, bro? You gotta come out wrestling in your constable suit? Looking like a fucking walking penguin with a penis on his head. I'm tired of Constable Corbin. I'm tired of Smiley Finn Balor. I'm even more tired of them together. Let's do something different, please. Walking penguin with a penis on his head. This is what Raw makes me think of. I blame them. These thoughts don't come to my mind. I don't say these things if you give me a good show. Look at my NXT review last week. You see me being like this there? Absolutely not. Watching Bobby Lashley sing Rockin' Robin on Monday Night Raw made me so sad for professional wrestling. It made me more sad than the news of all the death that we've been reporting on all weekend long. We unfortunately lost Brian Christopher, we lost Brickhouse Brown, and we lost Nikolai Volkov. And it gave me a very depressing and sad Sunday. I worked my ass off on this channel to get as much stuff as I could up here in the face of the new breaking news. And tonight I'm even more sad than yesterday. Because Bobby Lashley and his rendition of Rockin' Robin. You heard the beginning of the show. I made those words up. I was able to memorize them in less than a minute. Bobby Lashley couldn't take time enough within himself to learn 3 or 4 fucking lines from some of the most simplest stuff from the 60s that it really doesn't require much. You could have just done it a couple of times, played the song on loop. It's going to stick in your head. Rockin' Robin. How do you not get that? Too much to memorize that you can't remember Rockin' Robin? How do you not even know? You should just know that song, bro. It's been in movies, all over television, in commercials. Ask your mama about it. I'm sure she could tell you. Ask one of your 3 fucking imaginary sisters. Or ask your 3 real ones. One of them knows the words to Rockin' Robin. This whole segment served as nothing but to make Elias look like a fucking idiot. Again. Bobby Lashley was the last one to interrupt Elias last week, so he's the guy that we're going to feud with. 4 other people interrupted Elias last week every time he tried to plug his EP. But Bobby Lashley's the target because he was the last one. We all seen that coming. Nobody wants to see it. Bobby Lashley was just beating Roman Reigns on his way to the Universal Championship, and now he's being deflected down to Elias, who's on an upward mobile movement right now and is going to do nothing but now be fed to Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. To build up Bobby Lashley for what? For him to fight who? Braun Strowman? I don't want to see him wrestle a paper bag at this point. Awful. Got Kevin Owens in the back after this. He wants to complain to Baron Corbin about Braun Strowman having the ability to possibly cash in his Money in the Bank tonight because Brock Lesnar's around. Baron Corbin didn't seem to care too much about this, but this would only lead to even more fucking garbage as they had Braun Strowman booked to go one-on-one with Shanti. I didn't even watch this match. I don't care because this is ridiculousness 101. There is only one way this should have went down. Braun Strowman hits the ring. Jinder Mahal was already there. Braun Strowman annihilates him in under 30 seconds. Then you have Kevin Owens try to come out, steal the briefcase, maybe do it successfully. While Braun Strowman's getting the pin, Owen comes out, steals the Money in the Bank briefcase, and escapes like a thief in the night. Now you have a storyline that has some wheels on it. We can go somewhere. Or you can have Strowman catch him, stop him, and foil his plan. Instead of that, you have Kevin Owens come out, take the Money in the Bank briefcase. He doesn't get away with it. Strowman has the briefcase still, but loses the match to Jinder Mahal via countout, making him look like an absolute moron. Because he's more concerned about chasing around Kevin Owens and his briefcase than taking care of business in the ring. They could have even done this. You could have had it go down exactly the same way up until Kevin Owens comes out to get the briefcase. He grabs the briefcase. He runs to the back. Braun Strowman gets mad. He takes it out on Jinder. He wins the match. Nice and clean. Destroying Jinder Mahal in the process. Taking out the little sing man on the outside as he leaves the ring and pursues Kevin Owens to reclaim his Money in the Bank briefcase. There's storytelling, assholes! That's how it's done. And now you have an intriguing storyline. You could have it go on the rest of the night, or you can cut immediately to the back, show Kevin Owens escaping the arena with the Money in the Bank briefcase, which is really not his and he's not allowed to use, Braun Strowman running in pursuit, and now you have a hanging cliffhanger for next week. Are people going to tune in to see what Braun Strowman does? Look what Braun Strowman did to Kevin Owens when he was just trying to be his friend. What do you think he's going to do to him now that he's got his Money in the Bank briefcase? Tune in next week for Monday Night Raw. That's how it's done, motherfucker. Not like this. Not what they keep showing us shoveling down our throat. I am a man sitting in a homemade fucking studio in front of a laptop that should be sitting at the head of the creative desk with my boy JD burning down New Japan with the way my mind functions and the way we think about professional wrestling. We would burn down any competition because we have a brain. We know how to write wrestling. I just proved it to you with everything I've said to you tonight. If I didn't earn your respect with my booking ability and everything that I've told you now, just watch everything else on this channel and something will tell you, yeah, you know what, this guy knows what he's talking about. Mojo Rawley should be fired. He shouldn't even be collecting a paycheck because he's absolutely worthless. This idiot goes into the locker room in the back claiming he's mowing down the entire Raw roster. You won 2 matches against 2 guys. Calm down, bro. And this was all started to kick off his next feud against Mr. Inglorious himself. I'm doing that. He's not here anymore. We covered his face up. The Inglorious bastard over here. Alright? Who cares about this? You're talking about role reversal in a bad way? You're seeing it live on Monday Night Raw. As agitating and nauseating as good guy Mojo Rawley get hype, stay hype makes me, I would take that over this in a heartbeat. I thought Mojo was going to be able to be the heel, but he's just trying too hard, and he's coming off as absolutely disingenuous, and I don't feel evil Mojo. You know who's better at being bad? Bobby fucking Roode. And what you do is, you flip the script, and all of a sudden this whole thing works. You have Bobby Roode be the guy, talking about, I'm mowing down all you sons of bitches. I don't even care if I faced you or not yet. If I haven't, you're next, because I'm glorious. Mojo Rawley comes to the defense of everybody else. I'm a good guy, I don't get hype, I stay hype, I don't care about glorious, blah, blah, blah. And now you have a feud with some legs. The little fans can get behind the good guy Mojo Rawley. Bobby Roode is absolutely capable of bringing Mojo Rawley to a good match and will get the kid over and get himself over in the process as the kick-ass villain that he actually is. But instead, we're doing everything backwards. The Authors of Pain. I don't even want to talk about this. The Authors of Pain were brought out on Monday Night Raw tonight to wrestle in a singles match. If I have never seen two guys in need of a manager so bad, I can't even believe how much Paul Ellering meant to the dynamic of this team. These guys cannot speak. It is obvious that they're reading cue cards. It was absolutely terrible. I appreciate the effort in having the pre-match promo and those old school picture-in-picture promos going on. I like that, but the things that they say have to make sense. And don't just give me generic bullshit that you probably wrote for Ellering down in NXT and, oh, the next book will close on this one, and the next chapter of Pain is blah, blah, blah. Nothing genuine about it. They're reading a script. Then you got Akam in there, the smaller of the two of the Authors of Pain, and he's going to lose in less than 2 minutes to a guy that hasn't won on Monday Night Raw in about 6 months, who's part of a faction that nobody gives two shits about, that has a valet that looks like a walking hamburger. That lead guy has a big giant milk dud head and can't stay on his own 2 feet and can't talk without tripping over his own friggin' words. And they're beating the Authors of Pain on Monday Night Raw. There's no reason for it. Just like there's no reason for the B team to truly still be the champions of Monday Night Raw. It's very surprising to me, and I know you guys know I was actually for the B team in its inception, and I still do appreciate the B team for what it is. But the constant use of comedy in the tag team division is killing any interest I have in any tag team, much like you see with the crowd tonight in Miami. Probably the only time the crowd and I were on the same page all night long was during this tag team nonsense. You got the B team out there talking shit. How they can't even believe that they're still champion. How are you a champion and you can't believe you're a champion? You've had 7 wins in a row. You have successfully defended your championship and you're still walking around surprised that you're winning and I'm supposed to get behind you. At what point are they going to strap up their boots and be like, yeah, B stands for kicking your fucking ass? We're the tag team champions. B stands for get the hell out of my way. It don't matter what they say. That would be a great thing to do with that gimmick. With the B stands for shut the hell up. And then you start beating everybody up. They could be a good team. But when all you want to do is make them look like idiots and make them look like children in a man's world, you're not doing them a service. The whole feud with the Deleters of Worlds absolutely fizzled out weeks ago. But that's the direction they still wanted to go. Until we had the Revival come out, and I thought to myself, oh, they're alive. That's good. Can they still wrestle? I'm sure they can. They're still pretty decent on the mic, but it just seems to me that the crowd, and even in a Florida crowd, it's very surprising to me how little of a reaction the Revival got tonight. NXT is based in Florida. I thought for sure we were going to get a big reaction, but we didn't. And then it got even worse, as during the tag team match, we got chants of Rusev Day, we got chants of CM Punk. The match in and of itself was not that bad to not have your attention being paid to it, but I can't blame the crowd so much. This was all thrown off the rails years ago with the tag team division. As soon as they split the divisions into 2 separate divisions, there was no coming back from this. This was inevitable. There is no tag team that is worth 2 cents on Monday Night Raw, let alone those 2 tag team championships that are on their shoulders right now as we're talking about the B team. Tonight we had the Revival actually getting a win. If I could find one positive thing about this whole thing, it would be the Revival actually won. So they're obviously going to be added into the mix for the build to the tag team championship match at SummerSlam this in just 3 weeks. That's it. Other than that, nothing we haven't seen before. Just like the Riot Squad and Bayley and Sasha, I didn't even watch this match. I have absolutely zero interest in this match. All the money in that was in Sasha and Bayley. And even though you kept teasing it, you kept dangling the carrot over the horse's mouth to get the train to move and to keep me coming back and say, all right, here it comes. All right, we're going to get it. We're going to get it. We're going to get that Sasha turn. Oh, maybe not Sasha, but we're going to get a Bayley turn. But we're going to make some kind of turn. The turn is up ahead. We're going to either go left or we're going to go right. And instead, the fucking horse and buggy guy goes right through the fence and keeps going straight. And now we're on the same road that we've been on for years. When we clearly should have taken that turn back there at Albuquerque. Why do you give a shit? And then on top of that, you want to give us a match we've seen about 17,000 times already since the Riot Squad has come to Monday Night Raw. What else have they done with them except put them against Sasha and Bayley? In some way, shape, or form, the only missing thing here is Ruby. And she's the only thing worth seeing. Ruby Riott versus Sasha Banks was a great match. Ruby Riott versus Bayley will be a great match. Ruby Riott versus the Smurf Blower, Little Miss Trenchmouth, Liv Morgan, and Lady Braun Strowman, Sarah Logan. No interest. Zero. Didn't watch. Who won? I don't know. I didn't watch. You want to know? You're crazy. Don't waste your time. Don't watch. If ever there was a time to fast forward, that's it. Because it's a waste. Sasha and Bayley wins. Who fucking cares? You got the idiots on the announcers. Oh, good friends. They're good friends now. They're working hard. They came together to do what? Why are they forcing themselves into a tag team? There's no tag belts. As far as I know, Stephanie McMahon says they have no plans on introducing the Women's Tag Team Championships in a near future at all. Maybe they'll announce them at Evolution, but we probably won't even see them for months. What's the point of this? If the point is to kill as much NXT talent as you can, then you're absolutely doing the right job. You're killing Sasha Banks. You're killing Bayley. You're killing the Authors of Pain. You're killing Bobby Roode. At this point, you're running the risk of killing Drew McIntyre. I'm very afraid of where they're going here. Oh, we had a great match, man. Of course we did. These guys are doing nothing but wrestling each other. They're not wrestling anybody else. Practice makes perfect. Right, guys? You should know that by now. If all you keep doing is wrestling the same guy, eventually you're going to get better. It even happened to fucking Roman. Roman kept wrestling Braun and Rusev and Braun and Rusev for so long that he eventually gets a good chemistry with these guys. But by the time he gets there, nobody gives a shit. You've seen it too much. After this, we went off the air with fucking Brock Lesnar coming down to the ring after Kurt Angle's threatening to fire Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman could not produce the beast. Brock comes down. He gets in Kurt Angle's face. He delivers an F5 to the general manager. And then goes to break Paul Heyman's arm. A clear act of desperation by lack of creative to try to get the fans on Roman's side. The fans love Paul Heyman. Let's have Brock attack Paul Heyman, take a shit on WWE Monday Night Raw, take a shit on the title, take a shit on the fans all night long, and we'll end it with the cherry on top being him severing himself from the beloved Paul Heyman. That's gotta do it, right? Let's go, Roman. No, it wasn't let's go. I'm sorry. We want Roman. No, we don't. Clear as day. It's John Cena all over again. I can't stomach much more of it. I have no choice. It's my job. I gotta bring you guys the hammer. The hammer was in full swing tonight. This is the only time I get this fired up. It's when we talk about this piece of shit show, which will truly not be any better until Triple H is in control. I firmly believe that. And if you don't like that, tough. It's my show. It's my opinion. That's going to do it, you guys. That's Monday Night Raw tonight. If I missed anything, it's probably because it wasn't worth talking about. And if you want to bring it to my attention, I'll bring the hammer down on anything you like. Alright, so just bring me that in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought about tonight's piece of shit. Let me know what you thought about my rendition of Rockin' Robin, which was 100% better than anything you've seen and more entertaining than everything you've seen on Monday Night Raw tonight. This show was absolutely on fire tonight. I had a really good time getting all this out because I was so full of this vinegar, man. I was Vic Vinegar tonight, not just Nick Nightmare, and I needed to get it all out because this show was an abomination. An abomination. We've used that word before, but I don't think it's ever applied as strongly as it does to tonight, which with the fucking worst Raw of the year. We keep saying that every year. The only thing they keep doing better is getting worse. That sucks. No wonder why I'm standing here swinging this bastard like this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for being here for our Monday Night Raw review tonight for July the 30th, 2018. Don't forget to take part in our SummerSlam Spectacular. It is SummerSlam. Help us turn WWE's SummerSlam season into the biggest SummerSlam season in the history of Sledgehammer TV. It is the first time we're pulling this out. It's the first of hopefully many annual SummerSlam extravaganzas as we are trying to get to 1K, and all it takes is you to hit that subscribe button, take your imaginary sledgehammers at home, and smash that thumbs up. Let the world know that you approve of everything that's going on here on Sledgehammer TV at the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and then share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world so that they too can join in on the fun, especially if they thought this show was an absolute dumpster fire like I did. You got to point them in the right direction. Let them know that Sledgehammer TV is the place to be. Right now during SummerSlam is the best time to do that. And once you are a full-fledged member of the Sledgehammer Club and a subscriber extraordinaire, I have available for your purchasing pleasure 2 absolutely beautiful fan club t-shirts. The Sledgehammer Club t-shirt, the original one from the WrestleMania campaign this past WrestleMania, and the all-new Sledgehammer Wrestling Show logo t-shirt with the blue, and it's on the gray shirt because white shirts are a pain in the ass, and I wanted to change things up and give you guys something special. Pick your favorite, pick them both, but whatever you do, pick them before SummerSlam because that's all the time you have to grab them before they are gone, and I don't know when they're coming back again, so make sure you get your hands on those t-shirts as well. Thank you guys so much for being here once again for this friggin' Raw review, and I will do my very best to make it through tomorrow night's SmackDown Live. Honestly, SmackDown has been the better of the two on a weekly basis on the road to SummerSlam, but still not really feeling a lot of the stuff they're doing over there. We'll talk about more of that tomorrow night. Don't forget, you guys, also, if you are new to the channel, to check out everything else that we put up all week long. We have our continued coverage of the Mae Young Classic. Unlike anything else you will see anywhere on YouTube, nobody does it like Nick Nightmare does it, as we are doing our preview of the confirmed competitors. We actually got 3 more names today. We're waiting for a couple of more, and then we are going to do part 3. But part 1 and part 2 of the Mae Young Classic preview is up on the channel. Also, lots of great stuff pertaining to last week, the NXT review that we did with the live calling of the championship match between Tommaso Ciampa and Aleister Black. We have our Nikolai Volkov tribute video specific to him, and then we have the video where we talk about all three tragic passings on what is probably the most depressing episode I have ever done. So if you're a goth person and depression is your thing, or you just missed it and you want to go check it out, everything that I just talked about will be linked in the annotations right over here somewhere. And also don't forget that you are viewing right now the absolute best unboxing show on the planet resides on this channel, the Subscription Box Showdown. Nobody in the world does an unboxing like Sledgehammer TV does an unboxing. Nick Nightmare does it best, and you have to check it out to see why. The July edition is up live. The June edition went up late. If you missed that, go back and check it out as well. It was a whole lot of fun. And see who comes out with this beautiful championship belt for the month of July. Make sure you check out the Subscription Box Showdown. Plus, everything else, man. If you're a wrestling fan, this is your central hub for information for all things. You got the Mae Young Classic coming our way. We got SummerSlam, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, which we will be attending once again this year. House of Glory, which is exclusive to the YouTube channel. So if you're into that and you're listening to us on our audio platforms, you got to get over here to youtube.com/Sledgehammer TV. And again, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and share. That's going to do it. I'm out of here. I'm exhausted. I'm sweating fucking balls right now because it's so humid in New York City that I want to kill myself. I think I'm going to go put my head in my freezer just to cool off, because not only is it hot and humid, but Raw's got me all heated up, and I am just an absolute hot, disgusting mess. And we are going to get out of here. Who are we? Thor, the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and the Wrestling God of Thunder. Mr. Blue, the snowball microphone here for you, and the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world. My name is Nick Nightmare. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Monday Night Raw review. That is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time tomorrow night for the SmackDown Live review right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Good night, you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.